Welcome, welcome to all our dear friends around the world. We will tell you that many times in the past, we've had these two delightful, creative, remarkable people on with us before, and we've used every expletive we could imagine to try to describe what they do and who they are. This year, we have a new one because President Nelson said after his 100th year that he was now using a new term called fabulous. So let's tell you about fabulous people and a fabulous program.
That's right. We're so grateful to have Jen Allen and Jonathan Wing with us. Jen is the Director of Events at Family Search International.
The director.
The director. And she has helped organize and execute 12 RootsTechs. This will be the 13th, right? Whoa,
yep.
That's amazing.
I know, it is crazy. I'm still standing.
Yeah, that's a feat.
Right now you're sitting, probably for a reason.
That's right.
And Jonathan is the RootsTech Creative Manager.
And we say creative with capital C. This man can do anything.
It's amazing. And he's been with Family or RootsTech since 2016, right? I think that's true.
Yeah. It was a completely different role, but I came on officially on the RootsTech team in 2019.
Oh, okay. That is fantastic. Well, thank you both for all you do. And we are so excited to let people know about RootsTech and what is going on and what is new. And we actually even have a little video, and maybe we'll show that right now just to get people kind of acclimated to what this really is, and then we'll talk about it. Does that sound good?
Great.
Sounds great.
There you go, a little overview. And Jonathan, you probably wrote the music for that.
I didn't, actually.
No.
How many songs have you written for RootsTech so far?
Feelings about family history and looking at this video and just thinking, you know, everyone who thinks family history is boring or for somebody else, it is not. And RootsTech is so fun, and it's for everyone at whatever level. It was fun to see that.
It's a party, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And family history, even the phrase has changed so dramatically over the years. I mean, what it used to be, what it is now. So this is called RootsTech. From what we understand, it got started. So we've talked to some of the computer science professors at BYU that said they were in the tech side, and they suggested that we blend the two together so we could use all the new technologies to really advance this work. And tech changes so much every year that RootsTech changes so much every year. And it's amazing to see what's transformed, even in our own experience with this. So let's talk about this year, its uniqueness. It might be fun for each one of you to say how you got involved, just because we love the two of you and we'd love everybody else to get to know you better.
Yeah, sure. So how I got involved, I am an event manager by trade. I ran events in the craft industry, actually, or specifically scrapbooking, in the height of scrapbooking. And it was a lot of fun, and I loved it. And it's funny now that I'm transitioned over to family history, it's not much different, just less glitter and stickers and cutesy paper. You don't see that as much anymore. But it's been a lot of fun. I actually had young children when I was asked if I was interested to come and work for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, specifically in the family history department. And at the time, I remember being interviewed. Nobody hate me here, but I was like, I don't have a Family Search account. Is that a problem? Now, remember, this was over 10 years ago. Okay. So now it's very common. Everybody has an account, it feels like. But at the time, I'm like, I'm not a genealogist. Is that going to be okay? But it's incredible what I've learned being here and how much I love family history, but mostly I'm a photos and stories kind of a focus. I love that part of it. My family knows if Jen's there, then the camera's coming out and I'm going to make you take awkward pictures because that's my thing. That's what I do. That's right. And I love it. So that is my favorite part of it. And so, yep, it's been over 10 years. This will be my 13th RootsTech, lucky 13, as Steve Rockwood calls it. So we're just so excited. I love my job. I love it, even though it's one of the most stressful things you could probably do besides maybe a heart surgeon or something. But there's some incredible things that we get to do every year. And I'm just so grateful to work with incredible people, especially Jonathan. Don't tell the others.
Example that is,
yeah,
Jen, of everybody else that doesn't know anything about it. This is really for them too. They can say, I don't even have a Family Search account, and jump in to RootsTech, and boy, they can just be on fire by the time they're done. So that's great. Jonathan, how about you?
Well, if someone were to ask me, how did I get involved in family history? It was a part of my upbringing. I just didn't know it. My mom is from the Philippines. My dad's from the Netherlands. They met in Canada. That's where I was born. And when we moved to the States, I was about 8 years old. And they really instilled in all of their children this love of their culture, their heritage, their traditions. And so I never really thought of that as family history growing up. I just thought this is the way I was raised. Before I came to church employment, I was working in marketing and in public affairs. I came to, and you got it right, I started working at the church in 2016. And my first assignment in the publishing department was to support this random event called RootsTech that I had never heard of before. And I had no idea what it was. They told me about it and I thought, okay, that's great. I met Jen. And over the course of the next 3 or 4 years, we got to know each other. We got to know a lot. I got to know a lot more about what the event is and what we are trying to accomplish. And because of my creative background, I had ideas and thoughts, and I would always share them with Jen. And it was in 2019 that she said, hey, are you ready to jump over to this team?
It's time.
Over here. And it was the best offer I ever had, because ever since then, and remember, this was December of 2019. So this was just months before 2020 and the pandemic. And ever since I've been on here and watching Jen as she's led this work and seeing the change of it becoming this event from Salt Lake that served primarily people here in the Wasatch Front to this global phenomenon has just been this incredible thing to witness. First, it teaches me that family history is universal. There are so many people around the world who want to connect in those meaningful ways. As I said, ways that were connected to my upbringing. But the other thing that I really loved and that I learned as I came to the family history department is just this idea of family history being more than just looking to the past. You said it right at the beginning. Family history means so much more than it ever has. And that's something that I learned here at Family Search, is that it really is, we're looking to the past, but we're also thinking about the present and the future. The present in that how does the past help strengthen and help me now? How does knowing about the past help the individuals in the present? But then also, what are we doing now? How are we writing history as it unfolds in the present to benefit the future? It's an incredible message, and it's one that's permeated the industry, and it's been incredible to see how it resonates with a global audience.
So absolutely essential. And it is absolutely the forefront of unifying the world. We're all related. Let's just find out we're cousins. And
I'm a ninth cousin to Jan. I know that.
There you go.
Nice.
And I'm
That's
related
like
to her,
closer
so
than the lot.
related too.
Yeah.
This year we have some uniquely remarkable things, like always. I don't even know where to start. We could start with the guest speakers. our daughter was so excited she did backflips when she heard about who was coming. So, you want to talk about them?
Kristen Chenoweth is one of her heroes.
Great heroes, yeah.
Who else?
Yeah, Jonathan, do you want to share?
Yeah, our main stage at RootsTech has 3 general sessions, one each day of the event. So Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And I'll lead up to that Saturday keynote.
Okay.
On Thursday, we'll of course have Steve Rockwood, who's CEO of Family Search International, take the stage. He always has a powerful message that helps really expand this vision of what family history is and helps everyone see their role and their part. He will be joined by a comedian, and we're really excited to have Henry Cho join us. He's an American Korean comedian, fantastic guy. We were on a call with him the other day, and he's so excited to come back to Utah. It's been a while since he's been here, and he's excited to make everybody laugh. Friday is going to be so emotionally powerful. So we have 2 keynotes that day and a special presentation. So Lynn Jackson, who is the direct descendant of Dred and Harriet Scott, will be coming to speak about her family story. You know, for us, it's a part of U.S. history, but for her, it's a family story. And the way that she tells it is so beautiful, and how knowing your family story really brings strength. We have a great announcement from American Ancestors, so you won't want to miss that, but it's also related to the work and the foundational efforts that Lynn has put in place. That the closing part of that session will include Picture Line sponsored Sony artisan photographer Nancy Borowick. And Nancy is just incredible. And in fact, her story was so inspiring to us that it served as one of the inspirations for our theme song this year. But Nancy will be sharing a story about her family and how she lost both of her parents to cancer, and how she used photography to document the final days that she had with her parents. Incredibly emotional story for Friday. Saturday, you already said it, Kristen Chenoweth will be taking the stage. Of course, we'll be hearing her perform, but there will also be opportunities for her to interact with our MC, Kirby Hayborn, as he asks her questions about her life that unfold details that our audience have never heard before. So we're excited.
So exciting.
So Discovery Day, you also have a guest that is actually coming to you from the spirit world, right?
Now, this is the first time I remember that our guest speaker at Discovery Day is from the other side of the veil. So that really expands the outreach that we're having in family service.
Yeah,
right?
It's actually
this is a
first for us. It is. Yeah, we were so grateful to have been able to work with the late President Ballard last summer as we recorded him sharing some incredible stories, and Jonathan can elaborate on that in a minute, but just so excited. This message that we captured with him is so special, and even more tender and more special after his passing. So he was able to review it and see it before he passed, and was very grateful for the opportunity. And just one small kind of insider snippet. It was every year we kind of go and ask for an apostle and request, who will it be this year? Who's the lucky person that gets to record and be part of RootsTech? And it always goes to the president of the Quorum of the 12. And so, of course, President Ballard was reviewing our request and list of people. And he said, yeah, any of these people would be great. And then just kind of said, but what about me? And we thought, oh, well, we didn't even know that was an opportunity, an option for us. The president of the quorum is so busy and there's so much going on. But of course, we would love to. So honestly, looking back on it, it really was a miracle. And rightfully so that we were able to work with him to capture his story. It's a beautiful message that we can't wait to share with the world here in just a couple of weeks.
Well,
every part of what you do is so inspired, because you just see you preparing things in the future that you don't even know are going to be needed, but they're Oh,
That's
wow.
right.
Anyway, thank you for doing that. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Jonathan. Sorry.
It's like someone else is in charge or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like
I
that.
think what's so great about Family Discovery Day and what we love about that specific product is that it allows us to show members of the Quorum of the 12 and their spouses in a completely different way. We see them as spouses. We see the stories of their upbringing that contributed, that those meaningful experiences that contributed to making them who they are, delving into their family history, and then also seeing them as parents or grandparents or great grandparents in some settings. So ever since we worked with Elder and Sister Holland right after the pandemic, Family Discovery Day has taken on a completely different format where it's more of a documentary style piece. We're on the road, literally, sometimes with a GoPro in the car. But we've had the opportunity to be with Elder and Sister Holland in St. George, with Elder and Sister Suarez in Brazil, with Elder and Sister Gong in Hawaii and in Ireland. And then this year we were lucky to be with President Ballard at historical church history sites that tie to specific family stories, because for President Ballard, they're family stories. His second great grandfather is Hiram Smith. And for those of you who don't know that, but what's so beautiful about the way that he articulates it is he shares it from the perspective as the descendant of Hiram Smith, but then he paints the broad, the connection to every member of the church, because these stories should matter to every member of the church, because it's all a part of our history as well.
So amazing. I just want to say thank you again, because we had his son on with us in our broadcast just a week or two ago, and his deep desire to share this connection with these remarkable ancestors of his was such a passion. And you made it happen in a way it couldn't have happened any other way. It just fulfilled one of Elder Ballard's dreams. So thank you.
Yes. So what else is new this year that hasn't been happening in the past?
Well, one thing we can share, you mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, the desire for RootsTech to really focus in on innovation and technology. And so we're taking that to a little bit of a new level this year. As you know, the expo hall is always there, especially for that hands-on opportunity to see and experience the technology. And by the way, there's an expo hall online as well for those who don't come to Salt Lake City. Yeah. And so, but one thing we're doing on the main stage is really bringing a new kind of class session type, which we're calling forums. And all of them have to do with innovation and technology in one way or another. And there's audience interaction during the sessions as well. So there's 4 new forums this year. The first one will actually be the Family Search Technology Forum. And this will be focused on the family search innovation, the engineers, the work that they're doing all year long to put all of our hopes and dreams into action, right? And bring us new innovation and technology. So that one will be on Thursday at 9:30 in the morning. And it will be live broadcast as well for those who are watching online.
That's so great.
In the afternoon, we'll have the Innovation and Tech Forum. This one you've seen and recognized. This is where there'll be about 6 companies who will come and showcase their latest innovations. And we're really excited to have Jared Spataro join us at the beginning of that meeting. He is an executive from Microsoft who will be showcasing AI. This whole session is focused around artificial intelligence. And I've heard he has some incredible demonstrations in that space that might be a little bit mind-blowing. So you may want to tune into that one.
Everyone needs to come to that one. I mean, there's so much buzz around AI, but AI is going to change the way family history is done. So don't miss that one.
Don't miss that.
Yeah, it'll be so good. And even Family Search will be a part of that, showing kind of a fun, innovative demonstration of how we're considering AI to help all of us in our family history work. So it'll be great. Jonathan, why don't you talk about the next 2?
Yeah, so the Impact Forum is the other RootsTech forum that will be taking place Friday morning, and from 9:30 to 10:30. And that one, we're excited to have. My goodness, you know her work. but you might not know her name. But have you heard of the Emory study around?
Oh, yeah.
family history?
We quote it all the time.
Okay, so Marshall Duke and Robin Fivish were the two authors of that
Yeah.
study.
Amazing.
And Robin has agreed to join us at RootsTech, and she will give us more insights around how that study even came about and the specific learnings and setting that foundation. I mean, those two were really the pioneers in the research of the space of the benefits of knowing your family story. For those of you who are not familiar with the Emory study, it essentially said if you know your family story, there is empirical evidence that shows that your children will be more resilient. Your children will have a lot more behavioral, less anxiety, and more family behavioral benefits. So it was interesting to kind of delve into that. That was about 10 years ago when the New York Times covered that article or that study. And since then, I feel like so many people have referred to it, but we've never had either of those two at RootsTech. So for her to be there to share those details will be incredible. And there will be 3 other organizations that will join to share what their organizations are doing, how they're building upon that foundational research. We also have another researcher, Jody Kellis, who will be there to talk about how she's building on that research and where that's going in the future, and how we hope that gets integrated into our everyday conversations.
That's so perfect. That was the motivation for, So it was the motivation for a RootsTech video we made for last year called Why We Need Our Family Story Now More Than Ever. You know, and we do. And excuse me, RootsTech brings those stories to life
so much.
And it's just amazing that it can reach everybody, everyone who's watching today, all your friends and neighbors and loved ones. You can all be influenced and helped and aided by RootsTech this coming year.
So there's one additional one, Jonathan,
this year,
is that right?
In a week.
Yes. So Saturday, our last day, there will be one more forum. It's the Family Search Global Forum. So many people know what we do, but there are lots of people who don't. And they don't understand how family history is gathered differently globally, and all of the efforts that are underway to help individuals connect with their families globally. So we'll have our homeland directors, as they're called, will take the stage, and they'll share the specific details of how Family Search is supporting the family history and genealogy efforts globally.
Well, you two have traveled all around doing that, so you know a lot about that. I mean, Argentina and Ghana and everywhere. It's been amazing to watch what you've done. That's so exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, our grandson was in the middle of Red China and walked into a library and went up to the top floor, and the whole top floor was a family search center. He just was blown away. He walked into this place and it said, Family Search, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And anyway, it's amazing what's happening worldwide.
Do you want to tell us a little bit more about your global MCs? How does that work?
Yes. So we, as we talk, and so what else is new this year is that we've invited 10 localized MCs. So it's kind of like when you watch the Olympics, right? We watch the Olympics. It's a global event. But then we all watch it through the lens of the reporters who are there on site. So these localized MCs are like those sideline reporters. They're the individuals who are, no matter where you are in the world, RootsTech feels like home. They're there, they're taking in what's happening, and they're sharing with the local audiences what they're taking in for the very first time. Some of them have never been to RootsTech before. Some of them have or have been involved in varying degrees. And so you might see them walking around when you're at the Salt Palace, but if you're watching online, if you switch to a different channel or a different language, you'll see a completely different MC who's orienting everyone to the experience, who's calling out specific classes that they should watch. So everything that we try to do is to make it feel global, but also relevant and localized for our audiences around the world.
That's amazing.
It's a big effort. I will say that, but we're so excited.
So
we have incredibly talented individuals who will be there with us this year.
So Jen, wonderful. Other kinds of wonderful things. We want to highlight whatever you want to highlight, but we're just so thrilled.
Sure.
I mean, we are RootsTech junkies for sure. So we've been studying this a lot. But.
To build off what Jonathan was saying, again, RootsTech is global. And for those who haven't been following us for years, it wasn't always so. The pandemic kind of thwarted us into that world of creating opportunities for learning that are applicable to everybody all over the world. So when people ask who your audience is, and I say everybody, it's no joke. And by the way, it's not easy either, but we work every year to strengthen and build on that. So our website we have a whole team of incredible people who have been working so hard to enhance features and opportunities there for people all over the world to see what's going on. So even though our classes and our class offerings have always been there, it's like the staple of our event. There is a team of people who work every year to bring new and fresh learning content to you, whether it's specific to your homeland or maybe specific to a problem that you have in your family history, or if you have never done anything in family history before. We have this year a specific track of classes that are for beginners. And when I say for beginners, it truly is really bare bones basic, and so basic. We're so excited about this because we've actually asked our friends at BYU to help us put this together. So most of those classes are being taught by the young people who are in the family history program at BYU.
That's great.
And they just bring a fresh light to it. They simplify it. So we've got this great track of classes. And by the way, for those of you who are wondering, that track is at the Salt Palace and also online. So if you don't come, you can also watch that. For those of you who are on the other spectrum and you're the professionals and very, very deep into it, we also have a professional track of classes that is being organized and brought to us by ICAP Jen. And we're so grateful for our friends there who, again, Jen Allen can never teach these classes. So I'm grateful for these very smart individuals who are providing a very deep dive into genealogy and providing those very, very professional level classes. So again, learning in general is something that we're always trying to improve. It is the staple of the event. If people come to RootsTech and walk away having not learned anything, they're usually always disappointed. So we want to make sure everybody can learn something. So there are hundreds of new classes. If you haven't dipped your toe into any of the sessions online, there's lots that will still be there. But we try to freshen it up every year with some new learning content. And we're excited for you to see what those are. You can already, by the way, go on rootstech.org and start kind of adding classes to what's called your playlist or your own schedule and kind of build your schedule. So if you're going to stay at home and watch RootsTech there, you can already start looking. You can't watch the classes yet. We keep that a secret for a few more weeks. But you can add kind of ping the classes that sound interesting to you.
Speaking about that, how do they get registered? How do they get signed up?
Yeah, we recommend everybody, even if you're not going to come to the Salt Palace, go to rootstech.org. There's a simple place just right down. You just have to scroll a little bit where you can register for the virtual event or even sign up to receive notifications and reminders. But everybody really should at least register for the online event, because even if, again, you're not going to watch during the 3 days, that doesn't matter. RootsTech is all year long. And if you register, then that will allow us to remind you when it's starting, to send you highlight videos of people like Christian Chenoweth or others that maybe you missed, and just be reminded of the great things we have going on. So go to rootstech.org today, right now, if you haven't done it, and fill out the simple form to register for the online event. You can also, if you're interested in coming to the Salt Palace, please register for in-person too. It's a small fee that we have you pay, but it's not anything huge, and we hope you do come if you're able.
And if you register today, it's a discount price, right?
It's $99. How do you run a conference like that for people coming for 3 days for $99? I've never heard of anything like that.
And the cool thing is,
that's right.
Yeah, it's amazing. And you can also find out how many relatives you have coming. So tell us how to do that.
She's really proud of this.
Yeah, I am very proud of my 14,434 relatives that will be at RootsTech, one way or the other. Is that crazy?
I haven't looked recently. I feel like I need to look to see. My numbers are never that high though. So you've already beat me for
If
sure.
you
That's a
go
big
to the
family.
Family Tree app, then just at the top, there's a prompt that says find relatives at RootsTech. All you have to do is click on that and you'll see your 99. I only have 99.
Well, that helps me feel better, Jonathan, because I have 2,100 and she keeps telling me about her 14,000, and it just makes me feel like I'm not as connected as she is, but I'm connected to her, so it's okay.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's definitely not a competition, but there are some who are very proud of their very high numbers. So yes.
There's no competition for sure.
But this is a great experience. Every year we continue to be surprised that people are still excited to find out who they're related to. And you can click on that banner, like Jonathan said, if you don't have the Family Search Family Tree app, download that. And there's a quick little prompt at the top. And you can find out who you're related to. And there's a fun new feature this year that you can actually click a toggle that will tell you who else is not only registered for RootsTech, but who is coming in person. So you can literally go chase down your cousins and say, I know you're here somewhere, let's meet. And so that's a really fun new addition they added.
I want to say this sounds fun, but I looked at mine last night. My grandfather never told me. I thought he was an only child. He had 10 siblings.
Wow.
I have never met them. And I looked up last night, and my first 20 on my list were second cousins.
Wow.
That close. And all of a sudden I'm thinking, I've got these people all around me that are really, I'm so excited about this. It's more than a fun feature. It's a wonderful discovery opportunity.
Amen. It's so awesome. You have done so many creative, Jonathan. That is such a good word for you.
Yeah, do you want to sing to us, Jonathan? Oh, wait a minute. You could dance while he's singing. Then you could have a little artistic.
No one wants me to sing, but I'm happy. I'm happy to talk about music. Yeah, all day long.
So I asked earlier, but how many songs have you written for RootsTech now?
How many songs have I written, or how many have we published? Because the numbers different.
Okay, both.
That's fun.
You put me on the spot. I don't know that I have an answer. I should. Now, when it comes to Family Discovery Day, there's always been an arrangement of a hymn, and so I've had the opportunity to share in that regard. But for theme songs for RootsTech, this is our third. Our third year.
It's so beautiful this year.
So beautiful.
I love the song. It's so, it really emotionally, spiritually touching.
It's
what I love about Jonathan is he's all about the spectrum of emotion. We can feel happy and maybe a little sad, thoughtful. There's some incredible things that he brings every year. This song is touching to everybody that hears it. And I don't know if you've been able to share, maybe in your posts later, we can share the video that goes along with the song that was posted a few months ago now. But I recommend Tissues, but it is the most incredible and moving experience as you watch that and see the song. I mean, we've heard the song many, many months ago, but then to see it come to life in this video that makes you remember and think about those people in your life that you want to remember. But also what I love about our theme this year, which is remember, for those who don't know, it helps you also think of yourself. How do I want to be remembered? What are the things that I'm doing in my life that others will be talking about me in the future? And I just love it. Jonathan, I know you have a lot more to say on the subject of remember, but our theme this year is just amazing. I'm so excited.
It's perfect. It really is. Yeah.
Remember really is. Yeah, just that remember is that core motivation for why people engage in family history. And so for us to play with that as a theme and tie that to that expanded view of family history as past, present, and future is just amazing. The song, I'll share this because it's a behind the scenes. We had written 2 other songs that we had considered as a theme song, but it was when I heard the story of Nancy Borowick. She lost both of her parents. she knew that they were both going to pass.
Mm.
She was running out of time with them. That really, it really inspired me to just sit down at the piano. And it was one night, it was just playing chords, thinking of that scenario, but also applying it to my own life. I mean, I had, during the pandemic, I had this moment where I wasn't sure how much longer I had with my parents. I felt that motivation to capture their story. And so as I was contemplating those things, that's how those words just came together, and the melody. And so we shifted gears. We moved away from the other songs and said, let's go with this. And it was when we started to get feedback from people that we realized, oh, wow, this is touching people in a way that some of our others haven't, because it immediately gets personal. People think they feel something, they think about somebody, and then they're motivated to do something. So it's always an honor to be a part of the RootsTech experience, where, you know, we get so bogged down by the details of got to get this done, but then the week of RootsTech, watching everyone engage, seeing them contribute to this work is like nothing else.
Thank you for sharing that. That is so wonderful. We so appreciate you being with us and sharing from your hearts and from your experiences and feeling the excitement you have. We are excited to see you. We are the Family History Guide that we volunteer for is right next to the Family Search booth in the Expo Hall. So we'll be seeing you a lot.
That'll be perfect.
As you run by.
As you run by is true. What an undertaking. And it's just, what an undertaking. You have accomplished amazing things with this. And there's no way to even measure the good that RootsTech will do again this year.
Anything you'd like to share in closing?
Well, I guess for me, I just want to share that I am so grateful for the incredible people in my life that I get to share memories with and create those memories. And our family has seen some great miracles this year with a very sweet sister who's been helping us with our genealogy. It's not an easy one, by the way. And just grateful for some of those small miracles we've been seeing while my parents are still alive, to experience it as well. And to see my children, I have 3 teenage boys, which is not an easy thing to, you know, motivate them to be excited about much in life right now. But to experience at that, and to have some sweet and tender experiences with their grandparents in the temple, and to see that at this very important pivotal age for them is something that's very close to my heart. So I didn't mean to get so personal, but I'm grateful for the experiences that we get to have in this life and the memories we can experience together. And I just am grateful for this job and the incredible people I get to see and interact with every day. There's some very passionate people out there that I just love to see that light in their eyes as they share it with others too.
Thank you.
I love the fact that it's not just a job, it's a way of life for you. And we can feel it.
Yes.
It is.
It would sometimes be nice if it wasn't part of my life in every detail, but
well, and the RootsTech team feels like it's a family. But we could say that about everyone who participates in RootsTech. It really feels like a giant family reunion, and in many senses, it really is. I think for me, parting words are just a huge thank you to the 2 of you for the work that you do, and for inviting us to be here, and for all of your audience who's watching this. RootsTech would not be what it is today without all of you, and we genuinely mean that. We've seen miracles as this has taken on a new life, as it has expanded globally. But we know that it is the attendees who keep us employed, keep us going, and who give us the challenge of improving every single year and finding ways to better market, to better provide opportunities for learning, to better provide content that serves as inspiration to a global audience. And so really the thank you goes to everyone who listens to us, and we listen to you, because our hope is to make a product that will help you make the family discoveries.
And you are doing that and continue to do that. So our gratitude goes back to you.
And such a worldwide miracle. And President Nelson's invitation to gather all over the world, this is a key, absolute central pinpoint of what's happening with that.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. And please, everybody, share this. It's just such a remarkable experience. And register and come and get on. And let's see if we're cousins. We want to know.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Jen.